June the 24th of 2022 was one of the greatest days in the history of the United States when our Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. It is a day that many in the pro-life movement never thought they would see. It is a day that many who went before us fighting for the rights of unborn children and their mothers didn't get to live to see. And they laid the groundwork for the robust pro-life movement the United States enjoys today. Since that historic day, many in our country have lost their minds. And we have forced abortion now to be discussed, not just a precedent where you say, oh, well, it's the law of the land and I support a woman's right to abortion. We have to discuss what abortion is, what it does, and when we can tolerate it, as the Supreme Court sent this back to the states. And some people say 6 weeks, some people say 12 weeks, some people say 40 weeks. And now we see that infanticide and late-term abortion are just standard for many abortion advocates who would have never had that position just 3 or 4 years ago. On the pro-life front, the grassroots side of the pro-life movement has grown exponentially. And we've seen now, just through 40 Days for Life, our largest fall campaigns ever came after the fall of Roe, followed by our largest Lent campaigns came after the fall of Roe. We have not seen the pro-life movement put their feet up and pop champagne and celebrate. We have seen the pro-life movement get to work. This is a cultural front where we're winning. And we're not winning a lot of cultural fronts when we're honest with ourselves, but we are winning the battle for life, because America, who has exported abortion around the world, America, who has led the fight for abortion rights around the world, shamefully, it was America, the superpower, that overturned Roe versus Wade and has inspired so many countries around the world that we don't have to live in the West. We don't have to accept the fact that in order to be civilized, in order to be a, quote, first world country, that we have to kill our own children. As Mother Teresa said, that is a country that is ill and sick. And we see us correcting that illness at the federal level and the huge momentum in the grassroots. And you're invited to participate, not just monitor this. And I want to invite you to Washington, D.C. on the second anniversary of the overturning of Roe versus Wade. We will be joining our friends, myself and Abby Johnson and Kristen Hawkins of Students for Life and Lauren Musica of Sidewalk Advocates, and Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire will be hosting a national Celebrate Life weekend. Now, last year we did the first one for the anniversary of Dobbs, the 1-year anniversary of Dobbs.
We are seeing abortion-free cities. And when we have abortion-free cities, now we have abortion-free states. And if we can have abortion-free states, we can have abortion-free regions. And if we can have abortion-free regions, we can have an abortion-free country. And when we do that, not if, but when America is abortion-free, we would have fulfilled Mother Teresa's great prophecy when she said, when America returns to her roots and ends abortion, the world will follow. So let's do just that.
We had a great crowd, and we had so many people across the country say, we want to go to D.C. at the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the overturning of Roe versus Wade next year. So we are doing it again. This will be an annual event. Abby Johnson has generously moved her huge conference to that weekend. And so you will be able to do a number of things starting on June the 21st. On June the 21st, we will have a gala where we will highlight many of the heroes who make the pro-life movement work in the grassroots. We will also be joined by Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire. You can get your tickets and tables on the website that you see on the page to attend that dinner. You can also just get tickets for the whole weekend, which I encourage you to do. At 10 o'clock in the morning on June the 22nd, we will have a rally at the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the overturning of Roe versus Wade. There's nothing like it. Last year, it was so awesome. There's nothing like being at the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the overturning of Roe versus Wade after so many have marched and prayed and fasted and sweat to see this day come. And so everyone, you don't need a ticket to go to the rally. Everyone's invited to the rally at 10 a.m. And then after that, Abby Johnson will be hosting a pro-life conference. I'll be speaking at that. Abby will be speaking at that. We'll have a number of great speakers through Sunday. And so I encourage you to get your tickets early. This event will fill up very quickly. So be sure that you attend the National Celebrate Life weekend. It's going to be awesome. We are super excited to have Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire, who's very excited about coming. We should have a lot of people there. We know of many buses that are coming from across the country. DC is beautiful in June, and so it will be a great month to be in our nation's capital to celebrate a great victory for our country, a victory that many right now are saying is one of the worst things that's happened. We see so many politicians who have really folded on abortion, almost act like they're embarrassed that the Supreme Court is trying to drag us out of 1973 science with the overturning of Roe. But we celebrate the emancipation of the slaves because that was one of the greatest days in the history of our country. And the Supreme Court then dehumanized another segment of our population with Roe versus Wade, and we will celebrate the overturning of that unjust, barbaric law the weekend of June the 21st through June the 23rd. So go to the website, get your tickets, arrange your travel, and we will see you in our nation's capital to celebrate one of the greatest days in the history of our great country.